direction. Barkley backs in, faces a double team. Dumas is open.
From being fast friends to becoming bitter rivals, the Jordan versus Barkley feud is something that pops up in the headlines every now and then. But what exactly went wrong there? Well, why don't you sit back and relax, because I'll be taking you on a journey through time.
Get a quick shot when he first came down. Steal this time by Richard Dumas in transition.
Now, let's be honest here. It's hard to think of Charles Barkley without thinking of the long feud he shared with none other than the iconic Michael Jordan. They've been rivals for decades, and even now things don't seem to be calming down. But hey, I'd be lying if I were to say that this bitter feud hasn't been a source of entertainment for us.
Pieced it together. Here's what happened. Roderick Rhodes puts it behind the back, drives on Michael Jordan. Barkley thought that Michael...
And well, it's also given us quite a few awkward moments as well. Now, before we get into that, it would be only fair to talk about their on-court battle first. After all, it marked the start of a friendship that, well, let's just say didn't age well. So, the year is 1993. Two teams are heading into the NBA Finals with really high hopes. Our Chuck was, at the time, considered to be an undisputed star for the Phoenix Suns. And as for Michael Jordan, well, he was the prize of the Chicago Bulls.
Bulls have led by as many as 7. Michael Jordan.
The players went head-to-head and gave it their all. Sadly for the Phoenix Suns, they didn't stand a chance against the Bulls, especially with Jordan leading the charge. But seeing the fight Barkley put up during the match, well, it was enough to encourage Jordan to form a fast friendship with him. Of course, their off-court camaraderie didn't keep them from coming at each other during the matchups. During a game in 1996, Barkley actually grabbed Jordan by the neck after a foul. This caused quite a scuffle between the two teams. But enough with the trash talk and petty fights. Let's get serious and get some math involved. It's time to talk statistics and see which of these rivals dominated the courts. I know a lot of you are going to be in favor of Michael Jordan, but hey, it's only fair to give Barkley a fighting chance. What's interesting about this is the fact that both of them happen to be Hall of Famers, so that just beefs up the comparison. Now, while Jordan is regarded as one of the best players of all time, Barkley has also proved his skill time and time again. The star of the Phoenix Suns is known as one of the best all-time rebounders.
From the line, out AC Green from 18. In and out. Finley looking to tip at the rebound. Barkley's.
Both of them played 55 games against each other, and 39 of these were regular season games. As for the rest, they were playoffs. Barkley was able to beat Jordan in the regular season games with 20 wins to his name, but the playoffs, well, that was Michael's territory. He annihilated him with 12 wins. Apart from this, Jordan managed to score 50 points against his rival, not once, but twice. And as for Chuck, the highest number of points he scored against MJ was 42. While their offense was sort of up and down, there's no doubt about who wins when it comes to defense.
That's a stop. You credit Jordan.
Yes, it's Michael Jordan. By the way, he was also named the Defensive Player of the Year in 1988. MJ averaged around 2.9 steals per game, which is a lot compared to Barkley's 0.9 steals per game. Oh, and just to spice things up a bit, Jordan once also had an incredible 8-steal game against his top rival.
He's changed his mind. Started to go up. Crowd wanted to travel. And then it's thrown.
And I guess with this, let's put the technical talk to rest. It's time to discuss their off-court shenanigans. In the beginning, both were actually pretty good friends. They loved playing golf together and were even asked to be a part of a McDonald's commercial together.
Want to miss? Watches a winner. Eat 2 Big Macs. Hey, can I play? No.
But things went off course when Barkley decided to get a bit too candid. Now, I know, Chuck is known for his unapologetic and uncensored remarks. Well, there was one observation he made that Jordan didn't take all too lightly. He criticized his buddy's ownership of the Charlotte Hornets. From the looks of it, Barkley felt that Jordan wasn't doing a good job, and he didn't hesitate to express this sentiment in public. Barkley mentioned that, in his opinion, Michael had not done a good job with the team. The main problem was the fact that MJ was surrounding himself with people who didn't have a clue.
I don't know if he's ever going to be successful because of the people around him. I think he hires too many of his friends.
According to him, when you're rich, chances are that people aren't going to be Hornets with you at all. Why? Oh, because as you know, you're the one paying for drinks and dinners, and they're on your private jets.
Because you're paying all the bills. They're on your private jet. They're not going to tell you when you're doing something wrong.
So who's gonna risk all of that? Apparently, this led to the unceremonious end of their friendship, and that's how things remain between them to this day. Barkley opened up about one particular conversation the two had, which marked the beginning of their fight. So, after he made the comments which implied that Jordan wasn't doing a good job with the Charlotte Hornets, Chucky received a call. And can you guess who it was from? Yep, none other than the man himself.
And he called me, and that's the last thing I heard was,
And well, let's just say Jordan wasn't at all happy with the remarks made against him. In Barkley's own words, he went ballistic.
that dude, no, we need to trade that dude, blah, blah, blah. And he went ballistic.
Now that's a shade on Jordan that we would never like to see. Charles also shared that the last thing he heard on that infamous phone call was, "You're supposed to be my boy." Of course, Chuck tried explaining his side of the story to MJ, and apparently in response to Jordan's remarks, he said, "Man, I gotta do my job." Barkley told everyone that the two had not spoken since this incident. Yikes! He still thinks he took the right step. According to him, it was his duty to let Michael know that he was making mistakes. But here's the thing, Barkley could have gone directly to his friend as well, and maybe he shared his concerns with him there, instead of broadcasting them to the entire world. That might have saved their friendship.
People should know, by the way, for a long time, you guys were super
Like
close.
a brother, he's like a brother, and always will be. But
I would like to point out one thing though. We still don't know Michael's side of the story yet. The basketball legend never really opened up about it. As for his rival, Barkley has been pretty open about losing his friendship with Michael. He even went as far as to say that it was the most prominent thing that ever happened to him. What's more is that he even said that before things went south, they were best friends. Now the jury's still out on that one, but I guess in the meantime, we're just gonna have to take his word for it. Jordan, on the other hand, well, he's not too keen on sharing details about his feuds in public. But hey, the basketball legend isn't above ignoring his former friend in quite a few public settings. And let me just say this, it's been painfully awkward to watch that. Now the main question is whether we'll be seeing the two of them reconcile in the future. One thing that is pretty evident is the fact that Barkley regrets having lost Michael as a friend, and I totally understand why he would feel that way. But will he take any step towards repairing the friendship? Now this is where things get tricky. From the looks of it, he wants Jordan to take the first step. Actually, scratch that. He went ahead and flat out stated that. In his own words, that would be on his end. Now seeing Michael's reaction to this whole thing, or lack thereof, chances are that we really won't be seeing them golf together. At least not anytime soon. With that being said, it's a wrap on Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan's rivalry. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Team that was a difficult one because the floor was so spread as Michael goes to the basket, misses, but
And the Suns